This is either a case of creativity or not. Creative side is we can play around and come up with an answer to a total win-loss record by value using WLs. Hit F9. This is why I put F9 in here. So you can see whether, from your point of view, would you ever use this or not? There's an answer. We're going to use SUMPRODUCT and SUMIF. Let's figure this one out. Brad Williams, XL Prime, SUMPRODUCT. We're going to throw a SUMIF in here. The question is, can we have multiple criteria within a single criteria? What do I mean by that? Here we have a total win-loss record by value. What we want to do is total up wins. And if we have a win, we get a point. If we have a loss, we only get a quarter of a point. So across here, team one, loss, loss, win, win, win. And how many points is that? Well, we can go, that's 3/4 and 2. So we should have 2.75. Creative, huh? And you're asking, I can sum this up? Yeah. So sit back, think about it for a second. How would you do it? Just think about it without looking at all of the summary information. We know we can use SUMIF because we're summing up information. We have to sum up, we have to identify L somehow. We know we can use that as a criteria. We know we have a W, and that's also a criteria. Could you define this as this cell? Would we use 2 criteria? Well, it seems kind of lengthy, right? How about 1? Can we use 1 criteria? Yes. Then the question is, if I can identify my criteria, how do I sum that stuff up? How do I total the whole thing? Well, let's take a look here. We have a win and a loss. So can't we define this as the criteria? It would be like if W, give me a 1. If an L, give me a quarter. And you can go if, W, and then you could do this repeatedly, right? You could do if statements. It would be a little hectic, all right? As you can see that you have to go W in each cell. You have to go if, then you'd have to do, there would be, what, 8 if statements? You have to do 2. Well, there's a shortcut. If we look at this, we can use a SUMIF to do what? We can use SUMIF. We have a range. What is our range? Well, it's the row. What's the criteria? This is the critical part. You can define your criteria to include multiple rows and columns. And then our points are defined. That would be the sum range. That's just going to be K4 to K5. So we have our record here. We have our criteria, which is the whole thing. And then we have our points. Pretty nifty, huh? So if we think about it, get rid of some product, and it's going to spill. Let's take a look here. It's going to go spill. We can grab this whole thing. And what it's going to do is it's going to give us these numbers here. Copy. Remember, if you're doing this, I said it would spill. All it's doing is producing this outcome for us. And that's what we want. You know, we can do some product. We can also do a sum with this. So all we're doing is summing across. And with some product, we're going to go 1 times 0.25. Then we're going to go 1 times 0. Then we're going to go 1 times 1. We're going to get this outcome right here. Okay? And it's going to be 2.75. Let's just put that sum product back in here. Sum product. Let's just go sum. Close the parenthesis. Well, we need to put another parenthesis in here. Let's take a look. Is that correct? We have a loss, 0.25. We have a win, 1. Just for fun, let's do this. Let's copy this. Edit, copy. And I'm going to squeeze it in here. Edit, paste. I'm going to make this a little larger. I'm going to put some product. Product, product, copy it down. Control D, copy this down, Control D. What do we have here? We have on the fly learn lesson on adding other functions that do the same job. I just threw in the sum function. I kind of ad hoc'd it, but that's okay. That's what this is all about. Because this sheet is protected, I can't, Excel does some weird stuff. If this sheet's protected, I can't put in all borders. You can't do a lot of things if it's protected. I could simply unprotect it, but I'm just showing you some of the limitations if and when you protect a worksheet, what you can and cannot do. That's one. So here we have SUMIF. We have SUMPRODUCT, SUMIF. So when we're doing this and somebody throws this at you, keep in mind that now we have this active format, all right? When I mean active, this is going to spill. Be sure to check out our extensive courses, which include Excel data and text manipulation for advanced users, beginners, intermediate. We also have this great essentials, the A to Z for advanced users, the comprehensive beginner level 1 and 2. Then we have our advanced formulas, strictly formulas, great set of courses, which we have a beginner level 1 and beginner level 2. This intermediate level, and we have this advanced level. Click on any of the links. There's a short video that explains everything about the course. Check it out. Go ahead and just put this in. And then you say, I don't want the spill. You know now you can put a prefix, bunch it all together and sum it up and just get the total using SUMPRODUCT or SUMIF. And there's a whole host of other things you can combine this with, but we'll take one step at a time. Anyway, that is an ad hoc method of working with different data. The question is, and I said this earlier, why don't we need to put in unary? Well, a couple different questions. We're working with the SUMIF, which is going to grab all of the numbers. And SUMPRODUCT is doing what? It already has the numbers. It's just looking at SUMIF without looking at this information. It's not deciphering the wins and losses. SUMIF is doing that. SUMPRODUCT is just taking SUMIF's product. That's why we don't have to deal with the unary. And second, we're working with a single row here, and we don't have to throw in a unary because SUMPRODUCT is not dealing with text. It's not converting anything. The conversion's over here in SUMIF, and SUMIF can decipher this information internally. Just a lot of variation available when you're dealing with Excel tools. They really are a treasure chest. It's just getting a grasp and understanding the different functionality. And over to the right, as you know, is pretty much what I just translated and showed you through the various techniques. There's not going to be a write-up on my ad hoc, okay? This SUMIF. By now, you should be familiar with the pattern here. See you soon. Brad Williams, Excel Prime.